In the pursuit of success, status, and money, there is one thing closest to us that many young people often forget: family. We think that our parents will always be there, always waiting for us to return, that love will never fade. But the truth is, nothing lasts forever, and by the time we realize that, it may be too late to say I love you. Part 1. The things we carelessly let go. You once ignored your mom's call because you were just a little busy. You thought you'd call her back later, but she sat there waiting, phone in hand, hoping to hear your voice. You replied to your dad's message with a cold, one-word answer. You assumed he wouldn't care, but he read that message over and over, holding on to any connection with you. You left home without saying goodbye or giving your mom a quick kiss. It felt unnecessary to you, but to her, it meant you still cared. You chose to hang out with friends instead of going home for dinner. You told yourself, I'll go tomorrow. But tomorrow kept getting pushed further and further away. You got annoyed when your mom texted, "Have you eaten yet?" You didn't realize this was her way of loving you, the only way she knew how. You got upset when your parents tried to give you advice. You never saw that behind their worry was fear, the fear of seeing you suffer alone. You never noticed the hurt in their eyes when you brushed them off. They smiled anyway. Parents always do. But inside, they felt forgotten. You believed family will always be there. But nothing in this life is guaranteed. Not even the ones who love us most. We often take love for granted, assuming it will always wait. But nothing lasts forever, not even family, unless we hold on with care, intention, and acts of love. Part 2. When things are no longer the same. You once came home, opened the door, but didn't hear your mom's voice say, "You're back?" That moment hit differently. Home still looked the same, but the warmth was no longer there. You once looked at your dad's empty chair and felt a strange emptiness inside. Some spaces can't be filled by time or words, only by the presence of someone you love. You once cleaned your old room and cried when you found your mother's old notebook. Inside were small notes, reminders to eat, rest, take care things she no longer had the strength to say out loud. You once returned to a quiet kitchen where it used to smell of soup, rice, and burnt toast. Not because anyone was angry, but because her hands now tremble. Her legs can no longer stand long enough to cook. You once took your father to the hospital and saw, for the first time, your childhood hero looking fragile and tired. That's when it hits you. Time spares no one, not even the strongest man you've ever known. You once wanted to come home earlier, but work, deadlines, and distractions always got in the way, and one day, you only made it in time to say goodbye. You once told yourself, they'll understand. But understanding doesn't erase loneliness. Silence doesn't mean the heart is unheard. You once searched for peace in distant places, while peace had always been right there, in a home where someone waited for your return. Don't let your family's presence become a memory. Some voices, once silent, will never call your name again. Part 3. When we begin to grow up. You once argued with your mom because you thought, she just doesn't get young people these days. But later, life hit hard, and you realized she understands you more than anyone ever could. You once blamed your dad for being distant, for never saying, "I love you." Until one day, you saw the silent way he watched over you, and realized that love doesn't always speak, it shows up. You once ignored a missed call from your mom because you were in a meeting. And then you found out that call was the moment she needed you the most. But she never said so. You once cut your father off mid-sentence, saying, "I know already, Dad." Now you'd give anything to hear that voice again, even if it's just to remind you to eat your dinner. You once felt annoyed when your mom asked, "Did you eat?" or "Did you sleep enough?" But when she stopped asking, the silence left a cold space no blanket could warm. You once believed you were grown enough not to need anyone's reminders. Then the world knocked you down, and all you wanted was to be small again, held in your parents' arms. You once avoided going home because you didn't want to be questioned, only to realize no one out there asks with the same love, and when no one asks anymore, that's real loneliness. You once hid your tears from your family, thinking you had to be strong, but home was the only place where you could fall apart and still be loved completely. You once thought your parents wouldn't understand what you're going through, but they were the ones silently reading your posts, watching your stories, loving you without needing a reply. You once promised, "Someday I'll make it up to them." But someday doesn't always come in time, because time waits for no one, not even those who love you most. Growing up means realizing no one will ever love you as unconditionally as your parents. And if you still have the chance to love them back, please love them now. Don't wait until everything becomes just a memory. Happiness is not in some faraway place. It's in the kitchen where your mother still cooks, the hammock where your father still rests, the little stories your siblings still shares. One day, these simple moments will fade and you will realize what you once called ordinary was the most sacred part of your life. So hold them close now, because time only moves forward, and love, once gone, can never be lived the same way again. If this video has brought you blessing, hope, or a change of heart, please let me know by liking and sharing with those who need to hear. Leave a comment below about how God has spoken to you. Don't forget to subscribe to God Speaks in Dreams for weekly videos to strengthen your walk with God. Your support means a lot to the channel. See you in the next episode.